Hey guys, it's 11:41 a.m. on September 24th, 2017, and I just recorded a video for you guys, but I'm going to use pieces of it to show you some additional data I've gotten from the NOAA buoys that are right in the area of this supposed hurricane. So let me just show you what I had recorded in this video that I was making for you. What I have here is the screen from NASA's cartoon here as of September 23rd, okay? So this will take us all the way to about 4 o'clock, I think, is when this goes. And the whole point of this was just to show you how quickly, once I refresh the page, how quickly the storm jumps up all this great distance, even though yesterday the National Hurricane Center was saying that this tornado or hurricane was only going 8 miles an hour. So I'm just going to play this through right here, and you'll see this is where it was as of September 23rd at universal time of 18:15. So that's like 4 o'clock. And I refresh the page, and I want you to see how fast this hurricane jumps up. In refreshing it just in less than the 24 hours it takes from the last refresh. So I do that here in just a second. Hang tight while I refresh that page, and you'll be able to see. As I leave my mouse on the hurricane from yesterday, and then I go to refresh this page, you'll see the distance that this hurricane jumps. So there's my mouse, and you can see this thing just whips right up the coast there. So it travels several hundred miles in just a matter of hours. So now let me show you what the other stuff I was going to show you in this video is that we have this recurring theme where these hurricanes appear on radar either in places where I can't measure the ground readings of the wind speeds, or they're actually over the land masses and the ground speed indicators, the wind speed indicators, aren't measuring what were being reported. So this is the cartoon that NASA is giving us. I'm going to disengage this image and show you nothing is here on radar. There is no storm here on radar. Now, there have been lots of arguments about why that is the case, but we have not been able to verify using other measurements that should show it. So let me take you here to this map that we have. Here we go. This map right here of buoys. This is a sailing website called Wind Alert, and it's for sailors and other people who have to navigate through the nautical world. And these are the wind speeds that are being reported as of 11:33 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This is where the hurricane should be, and they're only getting readings up to 42 miles an hour. Now let's take a peek back at where this hurricane is. I'll show you one more time. This hurricane is right in this area. So when we look at this map, we should see it right here, right? So then other people have argued, well, maybe these aren't, accurate, or they're fudging the data here. I don't know why they would fudge this data, but let's just go here to the nitty-gritty, the real actual data that as it's being compiled, the places nobody ever looks, but I'm going to take you there. This is a buoy right here in the area where this hurricane has just passed through. Okay, see, this is where the hurricane is right now. This is a model of its trajectory. This is at the NOAA website, okay? And these are the benchmarks that they actually use themselves to show us where this information, where this hurricane is. Let's look at the history here. Now, this is going to take us to a web page on this particular buoy that has a crapload of data here. And I'm going to translate it for you, because what we see here is that the wind speeds are recorded in meters per second. See, it says here, times are in Greenwich Mean Time. Wind speed is in meters per second. Wave height is in meters. Okay, so I clicked on real-time standard meteorological data, and we get this crazy looking web page. Now let me explain what we're looking at here. We're looking at the year, the month, the day, the hour, the wind direction, and the wind speed, and the gusts. So let's look at the most recent entry here. Oh, and it also says here, let me just point out here, that it also says here that these real-time data have undergone gross error checking only. Please use with discretion. In other words, these have been scrubbed to see if there is gross error only. And there is no gross error here. I can assure you of that because there are many other metrics that are confirming this information. So, as of 11 a.m., the last reading was that the wind speeds were at 19 meters per second. Let's take a peek at what that translates to. We're going to go use a conversion factor here of meters per second, and that gives us 42 miles an hour. Now, this is raw data that is actually coming from the NOAA buoys, right where this hurricane is supposed to be swimming around. All right, we take it off the radar, off the satellite, we get rid of the cartoon, and we see that there's no hurricane here. And we go to the actual measurements, the actual instruments that are in the ocean that our own government compiles the data from. And the data that the government is collecting and demonstrating to us, although we have to look for it. This is diligently holding the media accountable to what they're reporting. And look at what we see. We see the wind direction at 200 degrees, wind speeds at 19 meters per second, and gusts at 26 meters per second. Okay, see this right here, guys? Right there, and that's as of 47 minutes ago. Now, let's scroll down and make sure that we didn't see something really ridiculous over the last couple of hours. To make sure that, because you know what, here's the thing. This hurricane, which is now right here at the orange dot, should have passed right through here because that's what we just saw. We just saw that this hurricane, according to NASA's cartoons has shown that this hurricane passed right by that buoy. Okay? It just traveled over the last 24 hours directly in the course of that buoy. So let's see, since the buoy is still reporting live, let's check to see if there's anything over. Let's see what the highest reading is. I'm seeing a 27, and I might miss one or two, but we're looking at 27 meters per second here at like 11 o'clock last night. And let's just see, keep scrolling down, and I'm looking at 18, 17, 19, 16, 15. So the speeds just go down. The highest wind speed we've recorded in the last 27 hours looks to be about, just double check here, I'm doing this real time with you guys, 27 meters per second. So let's go back here to our conversion calculator. 27 meters per second gives us 60 miles an hour. Okay, so we've had speeds here, but not 150 mile an hour, not 200 mile an hour. This is the consistent inconsistency. For the last 16 days, guys, I have been documenting these particular wind speed readings in every location that I can find them. And believe me, there are a lot of little ways to prove this. Go through my videos. You'll see whether it's a personal weather station at the airport, or whether it's the actual airport reporting, or whether it's IntelliCast's land speed, wind speed indicators. These things are all over the world. We can catch them in their lives, and that's exactly what I'm doing. We are just looking here, you and I, live, real time. I'm looking at all the data that has been compiled by the buoys that are actually in the water, in the path of where this hurricane supposedly just passed, and the buoys are indicating no hurricane. The buoys are indicating that the wind speeds, the maximum wind speeds here over the last 24 hours are 27 meters per second. And 27 meters per second only gives us 60 miles an hour. A hurricane, at a minimum, is 74 miles an hour. A category 3 and 4 is up to 120, 150 miles an hour. We are nowhere close to that, but this hurricane just blitzed right by this buoy. Okay, so let's keep our eye on what's happening here. We're fortunate that nothing came of these clouds here, which is great. I'm going to keep my eye on this series of string of clouds because this is where that quote-unquote Jose started taking form. It was right here off the coast of North Carolina and Virginia. So we'll see if that ends up becoming Hurricane Maria again. But as of the last, 48 hours since this thing fell off the radar, as it was about ready to pummel Puerto Rico just a few days ago, it disappeared. You can go back to that video where I show that right at 6:10 in the morning, this hurricane was right here on radar. On radar, guys. When it's really here, it's on radar, okay? It was just about to pummel Puerto Rico, and then out of the blue, the radar shut down for the next, what, 48 hours over here. I don't even know if it's on here or not, but the radar remained on up here. The radar is on up here. We see that there is NASA cartoonery showing us a hurricane blitzing by NOAA buoys that are not capturing the wind speeds, and the wind speed maps are not indicating that there's a hurricane anywhere around here. And I'm going to keep you guys posted because this is a fraud. I don't know why it's being perpetrated. I don't know what the hell took out Puerto Rico. The wind speeds there were at the highest were 85 miles an hour. The airport only reported 75 miles an hour. But that place, from the images we're getting, if those images are true, it looks like that place is trashed. Trashed. Some people suggest it could have been an EMP. I have no idea what the hell is going on, guys. But I want to show you something before I sign off here. And this should really concern all of you. So all of my naysayers who give me such a hard time about everything, you guys, something really evil is happening in our world right now. Our country has got weather patterns that we have never seen in the history of mankind. We have never seen storms from Mexico go straight up the United States to hit North Forks, North Dakota, or whatever, the Grand Forks or something, I don't know. Forks something in North Dakota. Grand Forks, I think, I don't know, but this is a city here in North Dakota where I have a friend, and they're being pummeled by weather that's literally coming from Mexico. You guys, this isn't normal. We have very bad things happening here. And the whole reason I'm pointing this out, people, it's just to get you guys to look at the things that they're not showing us, because this stuff matters. I know I get super excited about this, you guys, but come on, nobody else. All these supposed truthers out there, where are they? See, we think we know everything, and I'm telling you guys, we don't know. They say they're creating hurricanes, but guess what? The fact is they're not. They're making storms, but they're not making hurricanes. So what the hell took out Puerto Rico? I mean, yeah, okay, so we had wind speeds of 75 to 85 miles an hour, but have you guys seen the pictures of Puerto Rico? It doesn't look like 75-mile-an-hour winds. I'm sorry, guys. There's just some very screwed up stuff happening here. We're being lied to on every front, and the lies that they're telling us are just grossly exaggerated. So why are they doing that? Why isn't anybody in the entire media, everywhere I've looked, why isn't anybody looking at this? What the hell is going on here? Do you know it's 90 degrees up here in Michigan? It has been for 3 days. Do you know the last time we saw 90 degrees in northern Michigan was, I can't even tell you. It's hot. There's no air. There's no wind. This is ridiculous. I love it because I can go swimming, but I'm telling you guys, something here is very, very wrong. Anyway, I love you guys, and that's why I'm telling you all this stuff. And so that's it. Have a good day, and I'll keep you posted.